Hey y'all, this is Erin Smoke, and I wrote the formative that you did this week. Mostly, I wanted to get you thinking about how all of this applies to your classroom or will apply to your classroom. Um, I wanted to share a couple of things that we learned with you. As far as your favorite way to get user instruction, it is by far and away video at 16. Followed by step how to guides with 10 of you saying that that was your favorite. When I asked what tool you like the user interface on, we have Canva followed by quizzes or Quizlet. And then Google was in there as well. But I ended up with some very interesting tools that I didn't know about or that I would not have thought of. Okay, a couple of things that I wanted you to think about. The type of data that a tool might collect about you. I had some really good answers here. Your typical age, race, gender, name, email, and phone number all came up, but so did education level and economic status, as well as your social security number and your IP address. Please, please do not ever give out your social security number. Your education level and your economic status are also a little bit sensitive. Be careful about that one. The public cannot find your exact location from your IP address, but they can get pretty close. So if you want to avoid that, you're going to need to look at some other options.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia. I just wanted to give you a brief review and some feedback on the digital tools evaluation table. So, the first thing that I noticed is that some of you guys did use Edpuzzle and Wakelet. And those are tools that Dr. War said were off limits. So if you go back to the video that I provided you with for a model for the evaluation tools, there was something that popped up at the very beginning of the video that reminded you that you can't use Edpuzzle and Wakelet. So just a side note, you may have to go back and redo that because those won't count as one of your digital tools for the table. Another thing that I thought about that I noticed a lot of us were lacking, even myself, was that in terms of diversity, we did not really think about ways in which students can express themselves, the options for representation. And so I thought back to the formative that Erin gave us, and she had even mentioned the idea of icons, diverse icons. So I thought about Bitmojis, the option of profile pictures. Just think about ways that we could add in there that would allow for diverse representation and the embracement of diversity and that our students are different. Okay, so this is a shout out to Charity. I thought this was really cool. I am not sure if Dr. War is okay with this or not. I would definitely ask her, but I thought it was really cool that Charity included some links into her tool table. You notice she kind of did a few extra ones, but I thought this was really cool. I like this because I was able to actually click and go to this. So good job, Charity. Emmy, I really, really liked the way in which you broke down the instruction piece and the interface separately. So you kind of went off of my model. I like the fact that you were very thorough in explaining the instruction piece. I can tell that you tried to go through it yourself. So it's very obvious that you worked through things on your own and these were self discoveries. Now, for the safety piece that Emmy mentioned, she said that it does not require students to create accounts. So I think that's a really cool thing. The only thing that I might anticipate a struggle with is how are you going to track the student data if you're using quizzes as an assessment piece or a way for students to check their comprehension skills and whatnot. So I think it's great that it doesn't require students to create accounts, but in terms of tracking student work in progress, what would that look like? So just something for everyone to think about. For this one, this is a shout out to Nikki. I thought it was really cool and very thoughtful that you not only included the device compatibility, but also the version of it. Good job on that. Very thorough. Something else that I would make sure that I pay attention to is the copy and pasting. So I noticed that several people are copying directly from either a website or from the tool review websites and sticking it directly in there. To me, whenever I'm reading that, especially because I'm an English teacher, so this is just my 2 cents, but to me, that's telling me that you found the information, but you're not putting it into your own words and showing me that you understand the tool and that specific feature of the tool. So maybe make sure that in your signature assignment, you put things into your own words, or at least reword it a little bit to where it's not obvious that it was copied and pasted exactly. Other than that, see y'all next week.
I want to do a quick review of last week's Flipgrid. There are many great digital tool ideas. I've compiled a list of the tools that were presented in Flipgrid. Quizzes, Kahoot, and Quizlet help the teacher deliver quiz-type questions to students to assess their knowledge of a particular subject matter. Padlet and Wakelet allow users to take control of the content that interests and inspires them and can save and organize it into folders. Edpuzzle and Formative is an online video editing and formative assessment tool that lets teachers cut, crop, and organize videos. Parlay was introduced by Janelle, and she explained how the students could give a response to a teacher or student discussion prompt, and then others could continue to give feedback. VoiceThread and Canva are tools that enable students to build online presentations by adding images, documents, and videos and other media. And lastly, Google Classroom, ClassDojo, and Clever are used by many districts that you can integrate your classroom content with your school LMS. You can import announcements about assignment, quizzes, and shared resources.